Hello there, ladies and gentlemen. This is Moletrap. If you are a mole, you better beware, because I'm here and I'm with Cholera. So if you are, well, I guess I could make a lot of tasteless jokes, no pun intended, about cholera killing people. But anyways, Cholera is here as well. This is game two. Oh man. This is game two of Khan versus Oz, and Khan, you can see right here, has just chosen to send out Miracle. Maybe they're hoping for a miracle. Miracle, the
Yeah.
random new Terran with an 0-1 record versus Terran is going to be able to beat the seasoned Pro League vet Hayafu. Um, I don't know. We'll see. It's funny because Samsung Khan, I mean, they've got some real big heavy hitters in their lineup. They've got Stork, they've got Jangbi, and they've got Firebat Hero. But that's pretty much it. So every time you send out four players to the winners league, that means you know you've got one throwaway. And so I guess they decided to send out their throwaway Miracle as their second player. I mean, who knows? Who knows? Occasionally, Taza can come out as a no-name player and beat Bisu. So maybe Miracle will come out as a no name and beat Hiya. Anything is possible. But we're probably going to see Hiya take a 2-0 lead, to be completely honest. And then they'll have to send out someone serious to face Hiya in the third game.
Yeah, absolutely. I was gonna say though, they do have Great, who is a rising Zerg
Oh,
star on
yeah,
Khan.
yeah.
Yeah, he's their token Zerg that they drafted somewhere, and he's pretty good actually. He's very good ZVZ, which is often what you need in the Pro League setting. Not necessarily in the Winners League, but in the Pro League you need to have one Zerg player at least, one player from all three races playing the first four games. So often on a Zerg favorite map, you want a good ZVZ player so you can face the probable Zerg opponent. But that's a strategy that doesn't really matter in the Winners League. And instead they're sending in Miracle. Miracle, I was just looking him up because neither Mole or I knew who he was. He evidently got into the round of 36 of the OSL recently, and lost promptly to Cal 2-0. So he's had one win in his lifetime so far, and a bunch of losses. We'll see how he does here, though. This is Hiya at the bottom here. In orange, and Miracle is the red player at the top, and this map is Destination. Paya's weakest matchup is actually against Terrence, so who knows? Maybe Miracle will be able to pull a miracle here.
Maybe he will. Um, you mentioned Bygreat. I forgot about him. He is a very good player, kind of up and coming. He's been able to beat some good players, but you wouldn't want to send him out on Destination though. So
No.
because Destination a little bit favored towards Terran against Zerg, so it wouldn't have been a good choice to pick. I'm surprised they didn't send out Firebat Hero, but again, a lot
He's
of the
slumping.
Winners League choices who they sent out. Oh, yeah, that's true. But a lot of the winners league choices that all the teams are making have been very perplexing. So maybe there's more to it that I don't understand. But it seems like they have either an established order that they're going by, or they have certain people that they're sending out on different maps automatically. And so sometimes they send out kind of unintuitive choices as far as who to match up against what. So I don't know. Anyway, let's see here. Both players seem to be going for, well, we can't tell what they're going for yet, actually, because they've just got their supply depots down. But at the very least, no cheese or anything like that. And it looks like, oh crap, I forgot who's which one. Miracle is in the north. Is
Top
it
is
as at 12?
yes. Yep. Yep.
Okay, so that means
Miracle at top.
Haya putting his. Okay, yeah. So Haya's putting his barracks up there at the north of his base. Probably he's not even going to make a marine. He's probably just going to go straight to a factory and then float that barracks out to do a scout later on.
Yeah, that sounds about right, and that is a very standard move here for TVTs on this map. Firebat Hero, just as a quick note, I mean he has been doing very poorly this Winners League so far. I believe he's fallen really hard. Not sure exactly what the cause is. Maybe it's because Savior's doing well, and only one out of them two can ever do well in any given situation. They feed off each other's energy. Maybe they only have a shared amount of energy. And looks like finally Hiya is going to be sending out a scout. No scout yet for Miracle. I think Miracle is probably going to be the one who goes for a more audacious strategy, knowing that he is the less seasoned player. I would recommend at least that he go for something that is faster, maybe a two fact or a starport build or something like that to open up. Although he maybe he is a good macro player. I mean, you can't be sure, but in general, the worst player should be going for a faster strategy. And Firebat Hero, by the way, 2-7 statistics in the Winners League, not doing well. Samson Khan, though, overall has not been doing great in the Winners League. They are, I believe, in 8th place before at the end of last week. They are in 4-6. And on the other hand, Oz is up there with CJ. Oz 7-3, CJ 8-2. Very impressive records. Looks like we're going to get a scout now, finally, from Hiya into Miracle's base, and the same for Miracle inside of Hiya's base. Hiya has a Marine to chase it away. And in general, though, Samson Khan is still doing okay in the Pro League, so I guess they don't have that much to worry about. They're still in 2nd place if you add in the Winners League. And you know, CJ is the only one who's really moved up. The top 3 overall are Oz, Khan, and CJ. So I guess Khan still feels like they can send out a kind of a scrubby player, and both players actually going for fast expands here. Interesting enough. So there's going to be a fast expand probably with more vulture play right now, given that it's very difficult to hold with tanks if there's lots of vultures. So we're probably going to see lots of vultures in this game.
Yeah, it is. It's kind of interesting how some of the teams, you would think that the Winners League would favor the teams with the real heavy hitters. And yet, you know, teams like SK Telecom 1, who has Bisu at best, they haven't been doing that well. A team like Samsung, who has Jangbi and Stork, they haven't been doing that well in the Winners League. So it's a little bit kind of strange how a team like CJ, who doesn't have any S-class players, but has several, well, decent players, I guess you could say,
Yeah.
is actually succeeding. So it's kind of weird how that works out. But yeah, the barracks is floating in there now. I think he kind of knows what Miracle is doing already, but he's going to get that barracks in there and just really scout it out, make sure nothing tricksy is going on. And in the meantime, Hiya is getting his expansion up. So just taking a little bit of an early lead on that, I believe. No, well, I guess they're both main earning about the same time. So pretty much mirror builds going on, and it is going to be turning into a larger macro game at this point.
Well, it's actually going to be a pretty heavy vulture game, in my opinion. And here we're seeing scouting barracks from both players. Now, there's a slight difference here. On the bottom, Hiya has gone for tanks, whereas at top, we saw Miracle going for 3 facts. So he's going to be definitely playing towards more of a heavy vulture game, whereas
Yeah.
looks like Hiya's also picked up a armory. So he's going to need some Goliaths to counter a lot of vultures, probably fully upgraded vultures soon, from Miracle. And in general, it is a fun fight to watch, actually, between these two forces. However, I would recommend to Miracle that he send out his vultures sooner than rather than later, because vultures definitely decline in effectiveness once Goliaths and tanks are out. And right now we're seeing, yeah, Goliaths out for Hiya. Relatively early Goliaths. It looks like he's not even going to go for the vulture battle here. He's just going to try to tech to the next level. And he needs to be careful, of course, but on the other hand, the longer that Miracle waits, the less effective his vultures are. He should be already attacking and trying to mine up the natural expansion if he wants his more vulture-heavy strategy to succeed. Looks like now, finally, he's pushing out. We'll see if his timing has been thrown off, though, and if he can still manage to do some pushing here. Otherwise, he is going to be in a bit of trouble soon.
Yeah, you're right. A lot of times, and especially I'm kind of a little bit, well, I won't say surprised, but it's interesting that Hiya has decided to go for this more big metal heavy army. A lot of times, when one player is going for mass vultures, the other player almost has to go mass vultures because
Right.
they without it they get pinned in by mines and then they can't do anything and they get their forces, their Goliaths and tanks get slaughtered by spider mines, and so then you see these huge, masses of vultures. But I think the Academy Armory is also a good counter to that. When you get some Comstat and you get Goliaths and tanks, especially if you can build up a decent army. If you have a few Goliaths and a couple tanks, you can kind of, slowly make your way out and be pretty safe from mines. You can pretty much kill a couple mines that before they actually hit you once they pop up out of the ground. So I think he has that critical mass, actually. Now, unless he encounters like a huge group of mines. But actually, Miracle sieging up and Hiya walking right into the seas. He's trying to get up close and kill those
Ooh.
tanks, but the vultures are in range instead. And oh, is that tank going to go down? The tanks, he stops attacking the siege tanks to finish off the vultures and then finishes off the siege tank. I'm really surprised it went that much in favor of Hiya. I guess he was probably doing a little bit better micro. I don't think Miracle was focusing his fire very well there. And so Hiya taking an early win, and he's going to have a real military advantage from this point since he already has gone for the higher tech metal instead of the vultures. and by wiping out the vultures without them doing very much damage, he's going to have a big advantage here.
Definitely. Did you see how Hiya had his forces out past his bridges? That was very smart because he didn't allow Miracle to mine up the other side of his bridges. He kept his small group of
Mm.
tanks and Goliaths there, and that was very smart because the goal of the enemy vultures is trying to mine up your bridges so you can't cross, and then you're just stuck in your base. And the guy with the vulture can eventually bring up some siege tanks and then just constrict your position until you die. So I think it was a mistake here for Miracle not to have gone for that strategy. Miracle also doesn't even have speed upgrade for his vultures. Now he's going to face a vulture Goliath force. You know, just in general, I don't like his play so far, to be absolutely honest. And not to make too much of a joke out of his name, but he's going to need a miracle to come back in this game so far. Just like, remember there's this guy called Secret that I made fun of. I was like, Secret has a secret. He has terrible macro. Miracle needs a miracle because he's horrible. But that's horrible. Miracle here looks like he's going to lose his barracks also, and I don't know what he's trying to set up here, but it looks like now Hiya has switched back to a lot of vultures, and he has a superior vulture force here, and because he's won these battles, he can have more tanks to bear, and he has more Goliaths to bear too, and he is going to bring them up, and I think that's going to be the end of these vultures and that single tank for Miracle. So Miracle now is driven back to his choke point. No, it looks like actually Miracle might be able to hold here. He needs to hold, but no, he runs away. Scan coming from, I believe that was Hiya. So Hiya now is just getting into a nice position where he's going to go for the contain.
Yeah, I was a little bit surprised to see Hiya switch over and go for vultures there. That was a little bit surprising since he'd already established a lead with the tanks and Goliaths. That was a little bit strange. Uh, I don't know. Maybe I'm not exactly sure what the point of that is, but he has. I mean, either way, he still has the military advantage. Maybe he wanted to save his gas for something else. I mean, he has a starport up now, and he's going to make some raids. So maybe he's
Yeah.
producing vultures and tanks instead, or something like that, so he can produce some raids. Um, and once those raids do come out, um, it looks like he's not going to try and save them up. Actually, he's sending them straight to the front. So that's going to cause Miracle to be off his game a little bit here. But Miracle putting on a starport as well. I don't know if Miracle even has an armory anywhere.
Nope.
So he may have to wait for that starport to come up to produce a wraith of his own to deal with this wraith. So really caught off guard. And I don't think that single Wraith is going to do a ton of damage. He's going to probably be able to recover and get a Wraith out of his own or some Goliaths or something before that Wraith does too much damage. But in the meantime, it is going to be annoying and it is going to kind of throw him off and enable Hiya to have even more map control. And actually, Hiya going for an attack.
Yeah.
Sorry, go ahead.
Yeah, Hiya moving in here. Nice. Using his vultures to screen there. And looks like this might have been a mistake, though. Miracle pouncing on it. Very nice work by Miracle. He's going to mine up these tanks, and all the tanks are going to go down for Hiya. Nice work from Miracle, and this might be what he needs here to get himself back in the game. He needs to reduce the tank count, of course, and now he's going to go on the aggressive here. He's going to go and push, but unfortunately there is that Wraith, which is both scouting and doing some damage for Hiya, so that one Wraith is definitely paying off in spades here. And meanwhile, Miracle trying to build a new expansion on the right side, but Hiya has that well spotted, I think, with the mines over there. So I think he's going to know that's coming, and that's going to be his next target once he tries to set up more of a contain here. Looks like he's actually going to back off on his contain, put down a control tower so he can get some drop mobility here. And, you know, I think part of the reason why he got all those vultures is because he is very mineral heavy right now. He needs something to spend his minerals on because he hasn't really expanded and, you know, he doesn't have that much gas. Now he is expanding at the right side. Looks like these rates are just done a lot of damage. They're really useful here for the player Hiya, and Miracle looks like he's going to build a couple of rates of his own.
Wow, Hiya going in for some harassment here, taking out a few SCVs. That's nicely done. So Miracle trying to take a little bit of an economic, well, I won't say lead because Hiya's also getting up another base, but trying to get his economy a little bit higher and losing some SCVs in the process. Oh, wow. These mines are playing into this game a lot this game. Playing into the game a lot this game. I'm really surprised actually that Hiya's little push earlier didn't work out very well, and he lost most of his forces there. It looked like he had an advantage, but I guess he and I both underestimated the amount of vultures that Miracle had. Miracle's had to lift that base up and run his SCVs away, so he's not mining from that right now. And Hiya is probably going to be main earning SCVs over to that right side base pretty soon. So Hiya, at the very least, if he can hold this position, he's going to take an economic advantage that'll help him win the game in the long run.
Definitely, and looks like Hiya still being annoying here. Finally, some Goliaths out, and it looks like a dropship going towards Miracle's base. Miracle has some rates there that could be intercepting though, and that dropship is going to meet its doom at the hand of those rates. Yeah, not much that's going to happen here. Although it gets two vultures down, that's not going to do much. So, Miracle is staying in this game. Miracle definitely behind though, I would say, and not necessarily the best choice of strategy, going for all these vultures early on, but not really using them effectively. Hiya has definitely done a good job so far this game of preventing himself from being contained, and also, surprisingly, setting up a contain on Miracle's side. Miracle just now has landed his command center. He's finally gotten some more tech up also, so he's got some raids. But, right now we're seeing the only player with Goliaths is Hiya, so this is a big advantage because Goliaths are just overall more powerful than vultures are, and they're just able, obviously, to shoot up and deal with raids. Vultures just in large numbers, tanks and Goliaths just eat up vultures, and as we're seeing here, I mean, these vultures have no chance. And here we go. This is gonna be a big battle.
Yeah, here we go. But in the meantime, Hiya has had to stop making Goliaths. He's got a ton more tanks. He's got a lot more tanks, but he had stopped making Goliaths completely until he saw those raids. So these raids are actually going to be able to do a decent amount of damage. No, unless he throws them. Oh, he loses one wraith there a little bit carelessly. Uh-oh. He needs to watch those tanks. Oh, he kills off the mines pretty quickly. But uh, those raids needed to do a lot more damage. I was going to say that he was going to catch Hiya off guard a little bit there, but ironically, if Hiya hadn't sent that drop in, he wouldn't have seen those raids, I don't think, because he flew his dropship
Yeah.
right into the raids. So he obviously didn't know they were there until he dropped, and that enabled him to get Goliaths out to face these raids in the middle. Although it looks like they've been killed now because those three raids are now still picking off tanks. It looks like they've picked off like 3 or 4 tanks now. And even though Hiya has more forces, if he can use those raids to pick off enough tanks in the middle, it might help him out. He might be able to claw his way back into a bit of a military advantage. And killing some SCVs over here won't hurt either.
Yeah, nice counterattack here from Miracle. Miracle, though, not positioning his vultures in the best position. He should have gone in more. And that one vulture, as you can see, is still doing damage, but the other ones were taken out by the tanks. Miracle also has a position, though, on the ramp leading towards that second expansion for Hiya, and this is definitely a back and forth game here. Although I gotta say, right now, +1 attack for Hiya was up. Yeah, no upgrades yet for Miracle. Hiya is definitely constricting Miracle now, although that one Wraith is still causing damage. Hiya looks like finally he's going to send some Goliaths to the rescue, so that's the end of the Wraiths for Miracle. Miracle, though, has his position here, and he's also expanding again, so this kid, no matter what you say about his early game strategy or mechanics, he's definitely has game sense in the mid-game, and he's definitely doing what he needs to do, expanding here and trying to deny the expansions. Hiya looks like he's setting up on the left, but looks like he's going to get scanned there also. However, Hiya just has a dominant army right now, whereas Miracle has been harassing this entire time. Hiya has just kept his forces together, and now he's pushing in towards a natural expansion.
Hiya moving in here. Oh man, those SCVs just got
What was
slaughtered.
that?
Oh my god. They were all clumped up, and those 7 or 8 tanks just hitting all at one point at the same time blew the crap out of every SCV except 1 or 2 at the same time. And that was really harsh. And now Miracle's pretty much contained at this point, which is going to be a big problem, which means Hiya can use his reinforcements to take out expansions of Miracle's pretty easily. But Miracle has gotten a dropship. Hiya may have spotted it there. He has spotted it. He's bringing vultures back to try and hit whatever drops out of those dropships. It is a few vultures. He's going to try and do some more harassment. Miracle is doing pretty well, though, in general. You're right. He does have pretty decent game sense. He is keeping going. But, oh, Hiya moving in for the kill. Going in with a drop, going across the bridges as well, and he's going to set up shop a nice little siege right inside his natural expansion. A little bit bad positioning, though, and the SCVs are already on top of his tanks as he decided to siege up. So that force is going to go down, surprisingly, which is a little bit interesting. But during this whole time, Hiya's been able to take an extra base, and Miracle has not, if I'm correct. Yeah, Miracle's at 4 bases, Hiya's at 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It looks like on the minimap. So
Yeah.
again, Hiya just pushing for the long-term advantage here.
He's definitely done well, and there's so many SCV casualties on the side of Miracle. I don't even think you can
Yeah,
compare one of his bases to Hiya's, really. And Hiya right now has a firm lead, obviously. Miracle is still trying to push out. He knows he definitely wants to prove himself in this Winners League, and by beating a player, it's certainly not bad, but it does seem like that's going to be a forlorn hope for him. Hiya going for a big SCV harass there. Nice vulture work there, also taking out that one tank with some vulture harassment. You know, Hiya is pretty good with his dropships. I remember that game between Hiya and Firebird Hero, that infamous game. He definitely owned Firebird Hero up pretty well in Python with dropship play. And here we're seeing Miracle just trying to hold his position here at the upper right expansion. But like you were saying, he's one base behind. He's many SCVs behind. He's got a smaller army, and you know, just things not going well for him. For example, those SCVs running out, I think he was trying to do a. I thought for a second he was trying to help his tanks advance or something, but I think it was just an SCV transfer, and that was just horrible, horrible timing for him. And now we're seeing another drop here, another attempt from Miracle to drop, I think.
yeah. Miracle's going to try and come in here and take out this expansion. Um, it looks like Haya already has forces nearby to shut that down. But they're actually this time he's actually putting his forces in a good position, and it's going to be able to take out a lot of SCVs there. But Haya is countering with instead of 2 dropships from Miracle, Haya's countering with 4 dropships worth of forces. It looks like he's going to go straight for the main base here. Is where he's angled right now, and this could be the killing blow right here because Miracle's been running off a skeleton crew right now. He hasn't had a lot of forces. I don't know if he has enough troops to bring back to defend this. And now Haya has made that drop. Only a couple tanks left. And 1 tank now left inside of his base, and his factories are under fire. And another group of dropships being loaded up. So this is definitely going to be the end here. I don't think Miracle has anything anywhere to counter this, but he is coming in with his own dropships. Haya's not sieged up with those ships though, so I don't know if actually, maybe there's nothing in those dropships because he's moved them. Okay, 3 whole siege tanks dropping out there. Definitely did not have the army to back this up. And there's GG for Miracle. The miracle did not happen for Miracle. Instead, the Hiya happened for Hiya.
The mouth breather breathed some more stinky, fiery breath upon his Samson Khan opponents in this game. And I'm sorry. I gotta make fun of these players. I mean, I have no choice. I mean, how else are you guys gonna be entertained by Terran versus Terrans? But anyway, Hiya getting some well-deserved high fives from the Oz team, which has formally changed itself to red, having been owned by the Communist Party as it is. Hwasun obviously being a branch of Kim Jong Il's Secret Service, and Samson Khan defeated. Miracle looking a little bit in agony here. I can't fault his play too much, other than the early game non-aggression. He played a pretty decent catch-up game in the middle. Got some pretty nice vulture harass and other attacks on, but in the end couldn't do it. So it's 2-0 odds so far.
Yeah, it wasn't bad actually. I mean, you could tell he's a little bit amateurish, a little bit low on the multitasking and that sort of thing. But he's definitely someone to keep an eye on. If he improves, he might be someone good later on in the year. But Samsung has decided to stop playing around and send out the big guns. Hiya is going to have to face Stork in the next match, so it's going to be up to Stork to stop
Uh-oh.
Hiya from breaking out here like he has against other teams and shut down Hwaseong Oz.
Yeah, GG. Moving on.